I love this when they do their budget
That's her
and
weird
they talk about
personality.
this.
Tell her I said she's a weirdo, and if she gets it right, then I won't think that.
And you know what she's going to do? She's going to go,
She'll tell me to stick in my ear.
she might.
Yeah, I just love this. I printed off some of this. Where when it's on the website, people can read
She's like,
all about
you are
this.
not healthy
you know.
for me. I was
Well,
like,
that's good.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. We'll see.
She understands.
Uh-oh.
You know, I think I should screw this
Oh, Lord.
Thank you. I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order and ask everyone to stand for the invocation and ask Chief Page to offer our invocation tonight.
Heavenly Father, God, we come to you. We thank you for your blessings. We thank you for your grace. God, we thank you for the weather we've had. We can use a little rain if you see fit for it. Be with our council tonight, God. Part our hearts to you. Your will be done. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Items of community interest. I think it's July, so there's not a lot going on other than July Jam, last Saturday of this month at the community center. It's the preview to the fiddling contest. It's also a fundraiser for the Community Development Board. And we will not have the regularly scheduled meeting on July the 22nd for the city council because Bert and I will both be out of town. I wanted to recap, there's no one here from it, but I wanted to recap on the rodeo. Not this past week, but the week prior to was the Jim Bowie Days Rodeo, which is an extremely successful event for the city of Bowie, not to mention the money that it brings in. And I wanted, Janice, you're the only one, Janice and Diane, y'all the only ones here from the committee. So you know how much work it is, and I appreciate it, and I know the city coffers appreciate it too. So thank you very much, and pass that on for me. We are going to offer up a proclamation tonight.
I have one. Good night, Harry. I have one thing. I just want everybody to know that we had a very, very successful baseball and softball league this deal out at the city park. And tomorrow night we'll be hosting our awards for all the first and second place teams. And then also we do give a participation award to all the T-ballers. But we had 565 players in our community sign up for the program. So we want to thank you for the support that we got from the city on the ballpark and everything, because it was a great year. Even though it rained a lot, we actually got through it pretty good. So thank everybody that helped.
When is it?
It was.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? When?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow at 6:30.
So, and I don't think that we give the city employees enough recognition for all the work that goes into the rodeo, especially the electric department and the parks department. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because they had to be called out several times. I'm going to change the order a little bit because the entire community development board, or most of the community development board, is here tonight. So we're going to go with the proclamation before the public hearing. And I know that Cindy wants to recognize her board too, so if you'll come forward. So if you're watching our meeting from outside of here, Okay. All right, so now we have a public hearing for the 2023 Annual Drinking Water Quality Consumer Confidence Report, of which we have to open at 6:08 PM. So I'm assuming that we have no public comments on our, would you like to say something?
I can say this, the water quality is good. The main thing that we're doing in the water, that section of the water deal is, we're going through, thank you, the copper and lead assessment. We've been working on it for a year. We've got to have it done by this October. But everything, all our water quality is good, and you'll be getting a report in the mail before too very long.
And you guys have also received something in your packet tonight, too. All right.
Jerry was supposed to be here. I'm gonna read him the riot act tomorrow.
Well, if there are no questions from the public, then we'll close the public hearing at 6:09. All right, so the next item on the agenda is yours, Bart, City Manager Report.
Last Tuesday, the contractor poured concrete on Nelson Street from Mill Street to the bridge. We're fairly sure, and I'm positive now, they're building form for the rest of Nelson Street that goes from the bridge to Lamb Street. Concrete must cure for the equivalent of 28 days. After 28 days, they will start the other side of Mill Street. At some point in time, the drop box at the intersection will be completed, hopefully before school starts. Sewer line project still ongoing. The line behind Rayburn Drive is about half done. It's amazing how fast the work been moving since it quit raining. We're working on getting an easement for the Glen Hills lift station to take care of the larger area that is required for the new lift station. We're now getting closer to bidding out phase 3 of the project. And I wish it'd hurry up because phase 3 has a lot of problems in residential lines, and that will cure a lot of ills and problems that we have. I contacted Hayter Engineering about the plans for the downtown revitalization project plans. We spoke on the phone about some changes that are taking place at the old Creative Cakes building. The gentleman that bought that building is going to take the parking lot and make a green space out of it. So there will be a curb there instead of a drive-up parking area, and be green space there, and we've made those adjustments to the plan. As soon as I get the new plans, I will contact the businesses on Smith Street, let them review the plans and make suggestions, which should be soon. This past week, we started paving Lamb Street and Elba Street over by the construction area. The additional traffic because of Mill and Nelson's closure has torn up these two streets near the junior high, so we decided to repave those streets. We're going to start additional paving here pretty quick, so as soon as we start paving streets, I will let you know when we get things done. Jay Evans has been working with the engineers on the substation transformer project. The survey crew will be in the substation. Have they already been in the substation, Jay? Yeah, last week, and they had to get the elevations for the new transformer and the structures in the substation, so we'll start making plans to move the new transformer in place as soon as the concrete pad is ready. So that project is ongoing. I think Jay and I talked today, and the guy the company that's going to move the transformer has to disassemble it, take the oil out of it, take the fans off and stuff, crate those up, load it up on a trailer and bring it this way, put it back together again once the pad is in place. So that sounded good. As required, we are presenting you with the 24-25 budget tonight, but we have a balanced budget in the utilities budget. But when we started, we were out of balance in the general fund, so I had to make some strategic cuts across the board. So we'll talk about that in a little while in the rest of the agenda. Do you have any questions?
I'm going to go back to items of interest for just a second, because I wanted to let the council know that And you may have received an email from Kirk that 3 of our generators are going to be delivered tomorrow, our grant generators. So just to let you know that we're finally seeing some, they're all going to the water and the wastewater plant, right? 3 of them, yeah. So they're going to be delivered tomorrow. So that'll be exciting to see something come in from our grant. All right, the next item on the agenda is your consent agenda items. It's got your minutes from the last regular meeting and the write-offs from the utilities and the library. So I would entertain a motion to accept all as presented. Ashley, do I have a second?
Second.
Post? Gunner? Aye. Ashley? Post?
Aye.
And McEwen?
Aye.
Thank you. And the next item on the agenda is to approve a Parks Board expenditure to install the flags at the Veterans Park. Your Parks Board Chair is here if you have any questions for Margin. This is, I believe that the invoice is also in your packet. This is a project you guys have been talking about for a little while. It's within their budget. So I would entertain a motion to approve the expenditures.
So moved.
Post? Do I have a second?
Second.
McEwen? Gunner? Aye. Ashley? Aye. Post?
Aye.
And McEwen?
Aye.
Thank you. Your next item is to approve the expenditure of $11,358.61 for resurfacing the Pelham Park. It's a tennis court right now, and they want to turn it into a pickleball court. Again, Margin is here if you have any questions about that project, but they want to go ahead and at least get one pickleball court ready. So this would be converting it. As you can see by the list, the scope of work in this, we talked about this at the last meeting. It would be taking the existing tennis court and converting it to a pickleball court. Any questions for Margin?
This is in their budget.
Yes, this is within their budget.
Well, it needs to be, I live over there by there, and that's used quite often, and I think it's, actually, Julie and I went over and I blamed the court for not being able to play, but,
Sorry, so bad.
I'm glad that you're doing that, that's gonna be awesome.
So I have a motion by Ashley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Gunner?
When do we expect to get the other pickleball courts?
I don't know. It's still working through the EDC. So Gunner?
Aye.
Ashley?
Aye.
Post?
Aye.
And McEwen?
Aye.
And one more approval is for, whoops, didn't take enough pages. A $1,400 expenditure for a washer and dryer that the Parks Board is purchasing for the community center, so they can do tablecloths and possibly their drapes all in-house instead of sending them out. Bonnie did bring to them that the expense was getting more costly than doing it themselves in-house. This is just for the expenditure of the washer and dryer. The city will run our electricity, and then we'll have to have a plumber come in and run the plumbing. But it's going to be put in a position where there's already water access. So,
Margin, are you gonna buy him an ironing board too?
you're going to do the ironing. Again, this is all within their budget. Thank you, Mr. Gunner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Post? Ashley?
Aye.
McEwen?
Aye.
Post?
Aye.
And Gunner?
I wish we had known about this earlier, but Bonnie brought it up at our last meeting. Post haste, we wanted to get that to you because that expenditure has got a little too much. So yes, I'll do
Careful what you wish for. The next item on the agenda is ordinance 2024-02, an ordinance providing for the general election in the city of Bowie, authorizing the Montague County Elections Administrator to officially conduct the November 5th, 2024 general election, setting forth council position and terms, establishing regular and early voting places, and establishing an effective date. Mr. Gunner, do I have a second? Ashley. McEwen?
Aye.
Post?
Aye.
Ashley? And Gunner? Another election. It doesn't seem possible that it's time for another election. Next item on the agenda is to present the draft budget. As you will notice when you came in, there was a printed copy of the budget in front of each one of you. I thought it would make it easier, so Sandy did that for you, to look at it instead of looking at it on your iPads tonight. Bart is going to present this this budget to you.
Basically, except in your packet, you didn't get a copy of this, and it's always easier for me to see a printed copy of the budget than it is to look at one on a computer screen. But when the departments turned their budgets in, the utilities were pretty much in balance, the balanced budget. We had to strategically cut some things out of the general fund budget, but it is basically a balanced budget. I know that you'll need a lot more time to go through it and have some questions and stuff, and of course, we're gonna schedule a public hearing on the budget, but also if some of you want a workshop on it, we can do that. But that's up to the mayor and the council, what y'all wanna do. But anyway, if you have any questions about the budget, just shoot away.
Have you all been able to at least review some of the numbers prior to tonight? Yes, I guess yes. Yes.
Sorry.
I would like to set up a workshop with you guys and give you an opportunity to take these printed budgets home with you and look at the numbers. Also give you an opportunity to call Bert in between now and then. The budget looks eerily familiar. It's it didn't vary much from last year. There are a few things added to it, some purchases. At least highlight and go over the equipment purchases with them.
Okay, Jay is gonna get a piece of equipment, what do you call it, Jay? Skid steer, and it's gonna have not just a skid steer, but it's gonna have a mower and some other auxiliary equipment on it that he can do several things with the skid steer. Stoney needs another backhoe for the sewer department. We're also getting a rubber tire roller for the street department, which will help with the paving. And we've got earmarked in the Parks Department budget for about $100,000 worth of equipment, but we're trying to get a grant to get that so that if we don't have to pay for most of that equipment, we can buy something else out of that Parks Department budget. Am I leaving anything out, guys? I know I'm leaving something out, but just doing it off the top of my head, so.
Pamela, you got some numbers on top of your head, although I do want to, I love the, on the general fund revenue. I know you've stayed very conservative, but I did notice that we are at least projecting $300,000 more in ad valorem.
Correct, and that's per our draft that was sent to us. It could change by the end of the month. It can either go up or down for your property tax.
Yeah, they're going through contest on the appraisal board, and so as soon as that, but historically, there's never that big of a change when they do the contest and stuff, so, but we'll have just to wait and see. I think July what is it?
15.
Yeah, something like that we get the final numbers on the taxes, so.
If you have last year's budget, or you obviously have the numbers in here for the projected year, you can compare them to last year. And again, I said, except for a few things, it looks a lot like last year's budget.
So you'll know there's a 3% salary increase across the board, for all city employees, which we have done annually for the last 5-6 years, so to take care of, their cost of living.
What do you plan on this workshop?
So, the earliest it could be is the 15th, and the next one could be the 29th, both of July. That's next Monday. You can't do it then? And I think you're out of town some of this month too, aren't you? Other than,
I'll be here.
okay, so the 15th is out then. How does the 29th look to everybody? Are you in town? That's the week after
Yeah.
TPPA.
Should be, yeah.
Are y'all in town? It didn't have to be on a Monday night, Terry. No, I'm talking about us. No. No, I mean, when will you be back?
Let me, I didn't know this would help you tonight. I need to bring my schedule. I need to check to see on that.
Okay, well, this is,
Look at it and I'll see what I can do.
all right, well, we want you here. So are you guys agreeable to a Tuesday night? Does that bother any of you? Can we tentatively schedule it today for the 30th of July?
I think it would probably be better for me on the 29th than it would be the 30th.
Monday instead of Tuesday?
Yeah, because I might be able to postpone it. We're gonna go down Monday and do it if it worked better, because I know I'll be gone Tuesday.
Okay. Why don't we do this? Let's schedule it for the 29th. And because we still have two others that we have to touch base with and see what we can do. And you find out what your schedule is. Let us know ASAP on whether or not you'll be able to do that. But let's tentatively schedule it for July the 29th. And at 6 o'clock. And I'm going to say that if all of you call and get all your questions answered before then, and you don't have anything to discuss, I guess we'll cancel it. So you do have at least now 2 weeks to contact Bert and see what questions you have inside the budget.
And Pam and I are both available. Just give us a call before you come to make sure we're there, so.
Pam, are you out of town any this month?
I'm off one day, but I think it's on Thursday.
Okay. So you can reach out to either one of them.
Let's have it on Friday.
I like you too.
All right, so we're going to tentatively set one up for the 29th, and then if you can visit with and get all your questions answered between now and then, our next meeting will be, we have to vote on that? Okay, we have to vote on it. So I need a motion for the 29th.
So moved.
Post, do I have a second?
Second.
McEwen? Gunner? Ashley? Post?
Aye.
And McEwen.
Aye.
All right, so that'll be our workshop. And then the public hearing is, we have to vote on this too, should be scheduled for August the 12th. So do I have a motion to schedule the public hearing on the proposed budget for August the 12th? Gunner, second.
Second.
Post, McEwen,
Aye.
Ashley, Post,
Aye.
and Gunner.
We're pretty much governed by the state about when we have, in other words, we have to present this budget tonight before the 8th. We've got to have a public hearing on a certain day and stuff, so that's, we're going by the state schedule on all of this, so, other than our workshop.
All right. Have we met all of our obligations with you? Okay, well, we've met all of our obligations. If that's the case, then we'll open the floor to public comments. Or we won't.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to say thanks to the electric department for coming to our house when our power went off on the 115 the other day.
Thank you.
It took them like 20 minutes to fix that one.
They are very good.
Yes, and we appreciated their prompt attention. I put it out there.
Okay, if there are no other public comments, then we will call our meeting tonight at 6:29.